Hello everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another airsoft pistol video review for you guys. Again, we're looking at another plastic, clear, see-through airsoft gun. This one, however, is a CO2 gun. The last video I did was a Springer, kind of an entry-level Springer, but kind of cool in a way. I actually enjoyed shooting that gun. It was kind of neat. Getting back to this gun here, we're looking at the Umarex H&K USP, and this is the clear CO2 airsoft gun, and this is my tabletop review. There won't be any shooting. I haven't really gone outside to shoot this gun at all. It's just a little bit too cold. CO2 is not going to work out there so well anyways. All right, let's get into some of the specifications. This is a non-blowback, mostly plastic design gun. It is fully Walther licensed and trademarked. Has an overall nice exterior with a full plastic frame and slide. It uses 12-gram CO2 cartridges. It shoots 6mm plastic airsoft BBs and has a smoothbore barrel with an internal hop-up system. It has a 16-round full-size dropout plastic magazine and weighs in at 1.2 pounds or 544 grams. This gun is double action only and shoots around 360 FPS claimed. That might be with 0.12 gram BBs. Being that it's a clear gun, it doesn't have to comply with our unregulated airgun rules. This airsoft pistol is also made in Taiwan, again distributed through Umarex, and it comes in a clamshell case with the manual, Allen key, and small pack of airsoft BBs. So here's the clamshell case. Right here we have CO2, semi-auto, velocity 360 FPS, metal barrel, hop, lots of metal parts in this gun by the way, internal hop-up, authentic replica, 16 round, 6mm airsoft. Right. Some more stuff on the back. It's kind of hard to see this, but let's see if I can angle it in there. Nothing much else there. Pretty much all the same. Okay. Let's take a look really quickly at what you get. I'm not going to go into the manual. A lot of these manuals are pretty much the same. How to load it, you know, how to shoot it, how to aim it, what not to do, right? But you do see you get this metal Allen key. That's for the magazine, right? For tightening the CO2. And of course you got some starter BBs here, probably 0.12 gram BBs, I'm assuming. Alright, let's take a look at the gun real quick. Okay, so you have this magazine. It is plastic. Okay, it'll focus. There we go. It's all plastic. It's called a version 2 mag. Maybe there's a slightly different first version. Right, so you've got your follower there, your CO2 valve, right? It's in the gun, pretty nice. What I like is you can see here when you pull your trigger back, this little barrel, I guess is the breech area, goes right into the magazine. Okay, you can see how it goes into the magazine and just seals it off. It allows, I guess, less CO2 to escape. Goes around the BB, and then your hammer would hit that CO2 valve, and that's how it works, right? So the hammer hits this sort of firing pin assembly there. Right, but you'll notice, I just want to show you this, all this stuff inside here is all metal barrel. There's like almost like a chassis inside. It's basically the internal frame. It's all metal, right? Other than this, the magazine. So take the magazine out, but you can see there's this metal all inside here, all these parts. Now, unfortunately, the slide catch release is not metal. It's plastic, I believe. The trigger's plastic. The magazine release is plastic. The safety is plastic, just like on the BB version. I'll show you that in a second. You do have red dot sights, right? Let's take a look here. You do have red dot sights, front and back. Okay. The trigger again, or the hammer again, is plastic. Okay, let's see if we can get some markings here. So you do have H&K USP. You do have warning instructions, but they're not as obvious as they would be on a black gun, right? Made in Taiwan there. You do have a rail. You've actually got this metal plate here, which is kind of cool. You've got your red dot again. You've got your H&K USP engraving there, cal 6mm. Again, this the rail for accessories. Safe. Works just like the real gun, right? Doesn't allow for anything more. H&K USP. Right. Alright, I want to show you the BB version. Both of these guns are pretty much exact except for the barrel extension, which gives that red tip. You know, they're both basically plastic frame and slide. This one does have a metal magazine, and this is like a very early version of the H&K. The new, even the steel BB versions come with plastic magazines, unfortunately. The magazine is much heavier. You can put the airsoft one in in the BB gun version. You can't really put the non-airsoft one or the BB one in here because I think what's happening is this part of the gun, that breech, is too big, and it doesn't, basically what happens is on the magazines this hole is smaller, this hole's bigger, so that breech is just kind of getting stuck in there and doesn't really allow for that to work. But the magazines kind of fit in each other's guns, right? Of course, the BB version, this BB version doesn't have a red tip, and it's a black gun, right? It's considered an unregulated firearm here in Canada and is considered to potentially cause serious injury. It's not a toy at all. This gun, I guess, would be more considered to be a toy, although I wouldn't give it to any little kids unless they're willing to wear eye protection and, you know, not mind getting some welts on their bodies if they shoot themselves. But other than that, pretty cool. You know, there again we have your CO2 screw there, right? Airsoft BBs get loaded in the top. Pretty straightforward. Alright, let's talk about some of the pros and the cons. It's a relatively low-cost gun, even less than the steel BB version, which is the same other than the clear plastic and the red tip, and of course the ammunition. Has a nice full-size dropout magazine that holds the CO2 and the airsoft BBs. Lots of internal metal parts, as I showed you, which gives this gun decent weight, even though much of the shell or the external shell is plastic. It does have a rail for accessories. The CO2 screw is well hidden in the magazine. That's always nice. And it does have the H&K licensing. If it didn't have the red tip, it would have a recessed barrel, but that's kind of besides the point because you do have the red tip on this gun. It does have red dot sights, which is easy to see on most targets. And you should have just the right amount of power for indoor CQB style shooting, airsoft games, that kind of thing, because this is a lower powered gun, being that it's clear. It doesn't have to meet the 360 FPS with .20 gram BBs. So at close range, if you shoot somebody with this gun, it's going to be a little easier on them. It does make a good starter pistol for someone getting into the hobby that may not want a gun that looks too realistic. I talked about that with the P99 Clear Springer. You know, some of you out there, you're looking for an airsoft gun, but your parents might not be comfortable with an all-black gun. They just feel that it looks too real. They don't want any confusion. They don't want anything that looks like a real gun in the house. So this might be your only option, something like this. And there's really nothing wrong with it. It shoots just the same as if it were black. It's a great starter in that regard. All right, some of the cons. Being a clear gun, it obviously takes away from the realism, so you're not going to have that. But that is the point of the clear gun. We don't want it to look too real, right? And it would have been nice if the magazine was metal like earlier versions of the H&K USP, but that was a while ago. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago they had metal magazines. They basically switched it up to plastic quite a while back, even in the steel BB versions. Also would have been nice to see more metal parts like the hammer, the magazine release, the safety, and the slide catch. That would have added a little bit more weight and just given it that sort of cold metal feel. Alright, thanks for watching another Replica Airguns Airsoft video review. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Username is Replica Airguns. Also come on down to replicaairguns.com where I have articles, posts, and reviews. I'll have a written review for this gun there, so check the description of this video. I'll put a link there where you can check this gun out, my written review, along with some additional photos. We also have our Canada and US online Replica Airgun stores where we sell air guns, BB guns, pellet guns, airsoft guns, blank guns, knives, and other accessories. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.